Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Kelly coming straight at you out of Boston for the Queen Tarot Bee. And of course, my other Scorpio half here. Um, I wasn't sure I wanted to do this, but I think that people need to know and be aware of this situation. So when we came out of the beach cottage and did all the renovations, he had spray painted a desk rose gold for me to do my readings on and have my altar and blah, blah, blah. And so I need more shelving space because of the stuff that I moved off of the table I had there needs to now go in the corner. So we decided to go out and look for shelving space. We didn't see anything online that was decent. It was like $400 and no. So we decided, the best deal is, I guess, Ikea because, Walmart, not so much. Ikea is like an upscale Walmart, but it's better than what we were dealing with.
Oh.
So we went to Ikea. Yeah. So we walk in the door and I let him know, like, I can't walk long distances. And anyone who's been in Ikea, and I'm going to name the store, it's the Ikea in Stoughton, Massachusetts. Yeah, I'm going to name you guys, and I hope that you really see this. I hope that people pass this video around to show what a bunch of losers and jerks this store is full of. I have never been more disgusted in my life than I was tonight. I nearly got out of this wheelchair to hit a few people, and I am not like that. I was furious. I mean, furious. It starts out with us walking in, and I'm like, babe, I'm not sure I'm up for walking tonight. Ikea is very big, and my back has been hurting me for like the past week and a half. My legs, my hips, my joints are all infected, and they hurt right now. So I said, I think I'm going to grab a wheelchair. Just figured, sit in the wheelchair, grab an employee to help us and get our stuff and get out of there. We only needed like 3-4 different things. So we get in the store, I get in the wheelchair, and we have no idea where we're going. There's an elevator to the garage. Now, we've never been in the store, and trying to get an employee to answer us on where we go up was a joke. They all just looked at us until this one Oriental woman was kind enough, she worked there and she was leaving, to walk us halfway there and then show us right around the corner. So lucky for us, we got her. So you do have one decent employee. One. Count it. One. We get upstairs and first thing that I encounter is a girl walking toward us, and she is just... Finally, when she walks up to us, I'm like, are you just going to stare at me or what? And she just looked away finally and wouldn't look at me. But up until the point where she made it up to me, she just stared uncomfortably. So finally, I had to say something to her like, are you just going to stare at me or what? She looked away. That was my first encounter. So we come around the corner and there's employees there. Now he's pushing my wheelchair. Okay. I can very well push it for a little while, but my joints are inflamed. I just had spinal surgery. My back is killing me. It's about to rain here. My joints are inflamed. I'm sick and I'm not feeling well. I've been not feeling well for the past week and a half.
Probably about a week.
Probably about a week, a little over a week. I've been sleeping a lot. I have not been feeling good, and I've been back and forth with the doctors, blah, blah, blah. So clearly we needed help. We needed, how they make you push those big freight things to put furniture on. Well, how's he going to push that and push me? All the employees, we come around the corner, and they're just looking at us and laughing. They're just laughing at me. And I'm just looking at them, and I'm like, keep laughing. Keep laughing. Because if I have to get out this chair, you're not going to be laughing after that. And then they start flirting with each other. They don't even ask if we need help. So we go in and we find the shelving unit that I like. Now, nobody offers to help, not one person. So I take a picture of the tag so I know when it or if apparently we find someone to go get us a crate and help us, because he's pushing me. He can't push that in me. And I don't have the upper body strength right now to push myself through the entire store of Ikea. It just doesn't happen. Before the surgery, no, maybe not even then. I was pretty wrecked. So we come out of that area with nothing and not even sure where we went next. It was all such a blur, and I was so damn angry. I mean, I was furious. By the time we left there, I was so furious, I thought my head was going to explode. IKEA in Stoughton, you are the most discriminatory store I have ever seen in my life. You are full of disgusting individuals who think it's funny to laugh at someone in a wheelchair, to stand in their way and not help them, to not make room for wheelchair-friendly places in your food court, to be ignorant, to have your manager laugh in my face when I report to her what your employees are doing. She laughs and she walks away to another customer. You're disgusting, you're despicable, and you're discriminatory. And I hope that all of YouTube sees this. We went from the food court. Well, we went over to the food court. I can't even get in the line. The line's not big enough for my wheelchair to fit. So we try to go in another way. That doesn't work.
Well, there was an employee there that saw you. Obviously, he was the way he was looking at you, which I told you, and then whatever. But he didn't offer to help. But he did have plenty of time to sit there and check you out
In a wheelchair.
because you had your tank top on. I don't think that's how you're supposed to look at customers. It's not how I've ever looked at mine.
No. Now this is coming, we're not even talking about yet the customers. We're talking about the employees.
Yeah.
Not one person offered to say, hey, let us help you get in with the wheelchair so you can get something to eat. Not one person offered any bit of help. Finally, I got really, really aggravated. I was pissed. And I said, just get me out of here. I've had enough. Like, get me out of here. So we turn around and we go over to the elevator. And I'm like, this is bullshit. And the girl in front of me with her boyfriend, who's standing off to the side, turns around, looks at me, and starts laughing. And I said, is there something funny? Is there something to laugh at? Is there something funny about this? Because I'm not amused. And she wouldn't even turn around. She looked at her boyfriend and started giggling. I'm like, yeah, you're really funny. You're hilarious. She wouldn't even look at me when we got in the elevator. Get downstairs. And we start finding whatever we need. He takes a bag and has to put it on the back of the wheelchair because not one employee offered to push a cart for us. All we needed was one piece of furniture, a cushion for my chair, wicker baskets, and a light. That's it. He puts a bag on the back of the wheelchair and he puts wicker baskets in it and a light and the cushion for my seat on top of my purse, which is already on top of me. Nowhere to put my bag. It was just on my lap. So he's piling stuff on top of me. And not one person asks us if we need help. Now the customers and the employees are getting in our way and stopping, not moving. I have never seen anything like this in my life. Ever. They would just get in front of us and stop and bend down and look at stuff. And I'm like, excuse us. Like, you saw us coming, so why would you then block the path that we're trying to get through with a wheelchair? I mean, common sense. You don't block the path of a wheelchair. We start walking through the store, and of course, now the employees are making remarks and joking around and poking and laughing and fun. You're funny. And then all of a sudden, these two idiots walk by us and start running their mouth about me. And it was so inappropriate that he finally spoke up. And we all know he doesn't talk. Well, not in front of the camera. But he's got a lot more patience than I do when we go out. He finally said something. It was so inappropriate. I'm in a damn wheelchair. And people are just being so insanely disrespectful. I couldn't have been more humiliated if I tried to be. Like, I might as well have, like, fallen down the escalator in the wheelchair. That's how humiliated I was. All of a sudden, we're sitting there and stuff starts falling out of the bag. And the lights on the floor and, the wicker basket. So he puts the wicker baskets on top of my bag with the pillow. So it's like up to here by now. And I can't see. And we're going by employees. And I'm like, and not one of you can grab something and help us? And they're all just looking at us. And the customers are being so ignorant. I mean, so damn ignorant. Now, I know that we're massholes. I get it. I am a masshole. But we are not that much of massholes to where we poke fun and laugh at people in a fucking wheelchair. Who does that? Who? Ikea and their employees. That's who does that. Finally, we go downstairs to check out. We end up having to find the shelving unit on our own. He has to carry a 100-pound shelving unit on his shoulder. I'm trying to hold baskets and a cushion up to here and wheel myself, and he's trying to push me with a shelving unit.
I get it.
On his shoulder. And I'm trying to wheel myself and, hold all this stuff up, and shit's falling everywhere. The light fell again, and it was just a mess. And they all just watched us. Not one person asked if we needed help. Not one employee asked if we needed help. Not one employee offered to help. But they sure had a lot of shit to say.
Maybe they were just watching, learning how to work. I don't even work there, and I was showing them.
He's carrying a 100-pound shelving unit on his shoulder. Instead of an employee saying, "Here, let me help you." We went back for the shelving unit last, which was all the way back on the other side of the store. Pushing a wheelchair with a light in a bag on the back and shit piled up to here on my face. We had to go to this customer self-service to find the shelving unit because we could get no help upstairs. None. Zero. The customers laughed and pointed, made really nasty comments. The men were disgusting. The things that they were saying and the way they were acting in front of him, disgusting. And the women,
lucky.
Yeah, very lucky is right. The women were about this close to me getting out of that wheelchair. The way that they were laughing in my face. And I'm like, do you really fucking find this funny? Somebody in a wheelchair who can't get any help, who can't get a meal, who can't even get customer service, who can't get someone to help them push a 100-pound shelving unit around with a wheelchair, a lamp, a couple of wicker baskets, and a fucking cushion. Instead, I've got to pile this stuff up on my lap, try to push a wheelchair that I shouldn't be pushing with him with a 100-pound unit on his shoulder that we had to go find ourselves. And then we get up to the front of the line. And that's a whole nother story. We're at the front of the line and I am furious. I am going off at this point. I told him, just put everything back. I am done. I want a manager. I don't even want to spend my money in this store Just don't even want to do it. I'm that humiliated. I'm that pissed. And I am going to go off something fierce, like triple fire sign fierce.
The line cutter.
And then he's like, no, just calm down. We'll get the stuff. We'll go home. It'll get better, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, fine. So we're standing there, and the girl in front of us, all of a sudden, her two friends come up, and they're adding stuff to their cart. Now, she hears me going off and moves forward. I've got stuff piled this high on my wheelchair on top of my bag, him holding a 100-pound unit, me trying to wheel myself. The light keeps falling out. The light keeps, I have a cramp or something, muscle contraction.
Wow.
Right there in my back.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, guys, I've been like this for days. And her friends come up and start throwing stuff in the carriage. And I'm like, the lines are backed up all the way down the aisle. And we're sitting in an aisle with him holding a 100-pound unit on his shoulder. Like, really? And there's 4 registers open, and we're all backed up all the way down the aisles.
No, the lady closed hers right before we were there.
Yeah, let's not forget
That's
that.
how we ended up in that line.
When we came up to this particular line, the lady shut her light off on me. We ended up I had to wheel myself backwards with shit falling everywhere. Him trying to hold the wheelchair. Yeah, we pulled up and she turned off her light on us. And the lady in front of us felt so bad. She said, just ask her if she'll take you and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? I can see where this is going. Thank you, but I'm just going to get in the other line. I was furious. As soon as she saw us, boop, off went her light. I was like, this has got to be the most discriminatory store I have ever been in my life. I've never seen anything like that. And I feel for people in wheelchairs. I know now what it's like to be poked at, stared at, laughed at, have derogatory comments made about your looks, and just women staring at you and laughing at you because you're in a wheelchair. And, it's so sad because of the way you look.
Maybe it was jealousy.
Jealous of a girl in a wheelchair? That's pretty sad.
Those beautiful women in the store, they'll never get a guy that treats them like I do. Stop it.
So we all back all the way up, and we end up in the way back of this line. And this is where the girl has her friends come up, and they start putting stuff. Huh?
Huh? No.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting to that part. So we're waiting, and her friends come up all of a sudden and start putting stuff in the carriage. And him and I are just looking at each other like, and I told him, I said, just put the shit down. We're leaving. And he was like, no. So then all of a sudden this woman comes over and starts talking to these girls. And I'm like looking at him, and he's looking at me. She goes away and comes back with a carriage full of stuff and cuts. Oh, she had 2?
She had a friggin' cot too. Oh my God. That's when I looked over and I saw the lady that closed down on us had a line of people all of a sudden. And that's when I started throwing shit and said, let's go.
Yeah. So the woman who shut the light off on us took everyone after us, but wouldn't take us. Wish I remember that register number.
I will when we go tomorrow.
She shut the light off for us. So we had to move to the line all the way to the back of the store. But all of a sudden, her light was off and she was taking other people. Just not us. So then this woman comes over talking to these 3 young girls about something, and then disappears, and she comes back with what I thought was a carriage full of stuff. Yep. But apparently she had one of the pull carts with furniture too. And she cuts right in front of them. Right in front of us.
That's when I said
as the girl in front of me is seeing that I'm highly agitated because I have been getting discriminated against through this whole store, He's holding 100-pound shelving unit on his shoulder. And instead of saying to us, I saw what happened when she shut the light off on you. Why don't you go ahead of us? She then lets some random lady come in front of her with a carriage full of shit and a pull cart. That's when he finally lost it and was like, that's it. He put down the shelving unit, took all the stuff off of me.
Left it right on the floor where we were in the aisle.
Yep.
Threw it right down.
Left everything right on the floor. I'd had it. I was like, I want a goddamn manager and I want one now. And we were walking out and the lady was like, have a good night. And she didn't know, she was just at the register. And I said, I'd like to speak to a manager. And she's like, oh, and he's like, no, we would like to speak to a manager now. Oh, let me call her for you. So she calls this girl and the girl's standing there chit-chatting with her friend. She comes over and another guy walks up and decides that apparently he's more important than me, who's in a wheelchair once again. And he goes to speak and I just looked at him and the woman said to him, oh, let me deal with them first and then I'll be with you. And I'm just looking at him like, I dare you. I will be like Kung Fu Betty right out of this chair. Swear to God.
And that's where I lost my shit.
That's where he said, we have been through this store for hours. Not one of your damn employees has offered to help us. They've been making snide remarks. They've been making fun of her. They've been making inappropriate comments to her. They've, even the customers. I said, I couldn't even get any food. I couldn't fit the wheelchair in there to see what I wanted. Oh, you couldn't? No, I couldn't. I couldn't get it through the line, you idiot. It's a wheelchair.
They got perverts walking through the store, making remarks. And, yeah.
And she's got a big old smile on her face while she's saying all this. Oh, they didn't? Oh my God, guys. You know me. Have you met me? So there I am. And I'm like, ooh, I took my calm down medication and girl, it's not working. So you keep that smile on your face, Cheshire Cat, and I'm going to wipe that motherfucker right off. Promise you. So we continue to tell her what's going on, and she just starts to slowly walk away from us.
Smirking.
With that Cheshire Cat grin on her face, like she's funny.
Looking.
And just giving me the look. He's talking and she's staring at me, smiling, and walking away toward the other customer. He had asked her, please step aside over here because this is going to get heated. She didn't move. She stayed right there where all the customers, all the registers, employees, everything could hear everything that we were saying.
No, I said it loud enough so they would hear it on purpose.
Well, you nicely asked her to step aside, and she didn't. So we blasted her. We blasted her. And the girl laughed in my face. She did nothing but walk away with a Cheshire Cat grin on her face, like, haha. What is wrong with y'all? Like, really, what is wrong with y'all? Does a girl got to get ghetto and get up out of her wheelchair and slap the taste out of your mouth? Do I have to slap you into next week? Because I could do that too. I got no problem doing that. But the fact that I feel I need to get out of my wheelchair to slap the taste out of your mouth says a lot about who these people are. I was never more humiliated in my life, and this girl just stood there like she was the Queen of Sheba with that stupid little... and walked away while we were speaking to her to go help the other guy. And I was going off from this wheelchair. I said, just get me out this store because this is just unbelievable. I've never seen more discriminatory behavior from people in a store than I did tonight. I was humiliated. I was just... there are no words to describe how I felt tonight because I couldn't walk around the store because I was in pain from my neck all the way down to my feet. Even the bones in my fucking feet hurt right now. I can't even begin to describe knowing that I had to sit in that wheelchair because I was in that kind of pain. And to have people just sneering at me and laughing in my face, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to sit here and be quiet. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to speak out for everyone else in a damn wheelchair who gets poked at, prodded at, stared at, made fun of, talked about. And so I started going off on people. Is something funny? If something's funny, why don't you turn around and tell me something's funny? I got no problem getting out of this chair and showing you just how fucking funny that could be. I stood up for every person in a wheelchair who went through what I went through tonight. And tomorrow, my ass is going back to Ikea, and I want to speak to someone above her. I wish that I had tape recorded this. I've never seen anything like this in my life, especially not here. Because people know they'll get the taste smacked out of their mouth around here. Boston Moon, we don't play. Even the guys are terrified of us. We are a scary bunch. But what I saw tonight, I got in the car and I was just humiliated. Like, I didn't even know what to say. I hope that you all will share this video so that other people experiencing this know that I actually stood up for this population. I fired back at them. And I'm going back tomorrow to speak to the highest manager that I can. And I want to hear what they have to say about the treatment. I'm going to tell them, pull up your videos from last night and watch us go through this damn store. Watch not one of your employees help us. Watch all the customers stand in our way. Watch him carry a 100-pound shelving unit, piling stuff on top of someone in a wheelchair. Watch your video from last night and tell me that I am wrong. And if you don't want to do something about it, I'll go above your damn head. I'm going to go until I hit the very top of Ikea for them to explain to me what's in their handbook that says it is okay to make fun of people who are disabled and handicapped. I want to know where in that motherfucking book it says that this is okay. That's like the first time I've left my house in how long?
I don't know. What day did we move?
No, I mean like went out.
Oh, I'm lucky. That's like a blue moon to get you out.
That is why.
No offense.
No, that is why. Because it is humiliating. And the social anxiety I feel when I go out and people stare at me and poke at me, it makes me want to slap the taste out of everybody's mouth. They stare, they poke, they humiliate, they laugh, they this, they that. This is why I will not leave my fucking house. Because every time I do, this is the type of shit that happens. So I hope that you will all spread this video because it was so discriminatory, so disgusting that I never ended up spending 1 penny after 3 hours in this place. 3 hours in there. All to find like 4 things I needed. And I ended up leaving them there because I could not get any help. And I was so humiliated and I was so frustrated. And people were so ignorant to me between customers, but mostly the employees and that manager. I don't even know how this woman made manager. She had no sympathy, no empathy, no nothing.
I'm sure I have an idea.
Yeah, I'm sure I have an idea too.
It ain't friggin' education.
No, definitely not education. So tomorrow, I'm going back there to put myself in a wheelchair, and I want to talk to the highest manager they have.
Actually, I'll get one and go next to you in one.
I'd rather you didn't.
Why?
Because it's not a joke.
I know it's not.
And I want to know from Ikea, I want an apology. Fuck all that. I want an apology. I want to know that they are sincerely sorry and that they are going to fucking train these people to act like human beings. Sympathetic human beings, not nasty little bully creatures that want to smile at me like the fucking Cheshire cat. Bitch, I'm going to get out this chair and slap you into next year. Keep smiling at me like that. And when she sees me tomorrow, she's going to know who I am. And she's going to know why I'm there. And I'm going to tell her, I am not talking to you. Where is your boss? Because tonight, I couldn't do it. I couldn't. I was at that point where I was going to blow. I hope that you will all share this video. I'm tagging Ikea. I hope that you will make it go viral. That Ikea actually discriminated against somebody in a wheelchair. Not once, not twice, but the entire time we were in there. The entire fucking time that we were in this store, they discriminated against us. The male employees had something smart to say about my chest, or staring at me but not offering help, or too busy flirting with their coworkers to be bothered to help, or, you know,
Watching me.
I mean, just, I hope that you guys will help me make this go viral, because I'm not going to stop until I hit the very top of Ikea. I want a goddamn explanation, and I want a fucking apology. I haven't left my house in months for that reason, except basic like shopping here and there. And usually he will go for me because I have severe social anxiety ever since my surgery. I can't imagine why. Right? Right. So guys, I really just, I am like triple fire sign pissed. I am going to tear that place to the ground. I'm going to tear it down until I get who and what I want. What are they going to do? Call the cops on a girl in a wheelchair? Who they treated like crap?
Yeah, they probably would.
Let them. Are they going to arrest me because I went there to confront them for discriminating against me? So they call the cops on me because they're discriminating against me and I'm not tolerating it? That'd be interesting. I hope that someone from Ikea sees this and sends it straight to the top. This is disgusting. And that's really all I have to say about it. So please, guys, pass this video around. I've never in my life been more humiliated, more frustrated, and more socially anxiolytic than I am right now. Like, I don't even want to go out of my house, but I'm going to go down there tomorrow with a vengeance. I'm pretty mad. And so is he, even though he's being particularly quiet about it. But he lost his temper, finally.
I would never.
He tried keeping me calm through almost the entire thing, but once that lady shut her light off on us, and then
those two idiots.
The woman, two guys walked by and made a comment about me in a wheelchair that was very unnecessary about God only knows what at this point.
And I don't fuck with people in public.
But it was when that woman cut in front of us, instead of the girl turning around and saying, you know, I heard you're having a hard time. I see you're carrying something heavy. Why don't you go ahead? She let some woman come over with like tons of stuff and go right in front of us. That was it. His head exploded. My head exploded.
The lady looks right at you and just fucking, what's the word? I don't know, just came right in like there was no issue talking to a bunch of little teenagers.
It was unbelievable. Like, if you guys could have been a fly on the wall for this, you would have been like, I didn't even think this shit existed. I really didn't. I didn't think this kind of behavior existed. So I'm truly hoping that this makes it to the very top of Ikea and they know just how embarrassing their company is in Stoughton, Massachusetts.
Welcome home.
Yeah, welcome home, Kelly. Glad to be home, aren't I?
Me too.
Both of us. He came back from Florida. I came back from Arizona.
Actually, Jersey Shore this time.
Well, you were in Florida before that. Don't make it complicated.
Ugh.
So that's us. This is your girl Kelly from the Queen Tarot B signing out. Please get this video viral because I don't want this to happen to anybody else. Now, I'm exhausted. I need to get off this thing. I look like hell. And I need to go to bed. My back is killing me. So I hope you guys will pass this around, and I'll let you know how tomorrow goes. Bye, guys.